Hey there, my friends, and welcome to Sow Soulful. I'm Carol, and I'm so honored to have you here with me for this very first episode. Starting something new, like this podcast, feels a bit like planting a seed. You hope it grows into something meaningful, but you never really know until you try. Sow Soulful is all about planting seeds, not just in the garden, but in our lives. It's about growth and hope and finding beauty in the little things that we nurture. But like any seeds we plant, beginnings come with a mix of emotions. Have you ever felt that way? That blend of excitement and fear. You might even wonder if it'll grow, if it'll be enough, or if you'll just get it right. Trust me, I've been there. Not just with this podcast, but in my life and in my garden. So, as we kick off this new friendship, let's have a real conversation about new beginnings. Whether you're looking to start a new hobby, growing your relationships, or maybe even plant a garden for the first time, this conversation is for you. So, let's grab a cup of tea, take a deep breath, and settle in for a chat about what it means to start fresh. I believe the garden is a powerful teacher. It shows us how to embrace new beginnings, nurture growth, and find beauty in every stage of the process. But I didn't always love gardening. Growing up, I watched my grandmother care for her flowers like they were family. She'd talk to them and fuss over them and just beam with pride when they bloomed. I thought it was sweet, but back then, I didn't understand it because to me, plants just seemed like a lot of work for something so simple. But years later, I decided to give gardening a try. And I was so excited when I first saw those little sprouts appear. But that excitement quickly disappeared when my cucumbers grew yellow and my tomatoes just didn't grow quite right. It felt like such a failure. Have you ever felt that way? Like you put your heart into something and it just didn't work out? That's exactly where I was. For years, I gave up on the idea of gardening. But life has a way of bringing you back to the things that you're meant to learn. After we moved into a new home with a bigger yard, I decided to give it another try, but this time with a bit more patience and preparation. And it started off as a small project, and over time it became something much, much bigger, both in size and in meaning. Then one spring, everything shifted. I was grieving the loss of my grandmother, and I was feeling a kind of heaviness that I just couldn't shake. But for some reason, I felt drawn to plant a garden that year, and I poured myself into it, not realizing that what I was planting wasn't just seeds. It was healing. You see, the garden became my refuge, my quiet place, a space where I could just sit, reflect, and just feel connected to something greater. I can remember sitting there one afternoon surrounded by rows and rows of plants. And I can still remember the warmth on my face from the sun and the smell of fresh earth that just filled the air. And for the first time in months, I felt lighter. You see, the garden wasn't just growing. It was growing me. The garden became a mirror for my life. It showed me that growth doesn't happen all at once and that it's okay to take your time. It taught me to celebrate progress, no matter how small, and to trust that even in the toughest of seasons, there's still potential for something beautiful to bloom. You see, that's the beautiful thing about a garden. It's an act of hope. You plant a tiny seed and trust that something will grow, even though you can't see it yet. It doesn't ask for perfection, it just needs care, patience, and a little faith. Isn't that a lot like life? Each seed holds potential, a reminder that growth starts small and unfolds over time. And that's why I love every new day. It's like a blank canvas, a new beginning, a chance to start again. Whether you're starting fresh after a loss, chasing a dream, or just want to make it through the day, every small step matters. So let me ask you, what's your seed? What's the little thing you want to nurture in your life? Take a moment, close your eyes if you can, and imagine it. How would it feel to see it grow? If you're wondering how to start, try this. Plant something, literally or metaphorically. If you have space, start with a simple herb like basil or mint. If not, write down one seed you want to plant in your life, because small steps lead to big growth. Before we end today, I want to leave you with this thought. Every seed has the potential to become something beautiful, but it needs the right care to grow. Starting today, remember to always be as patient and kind with yourself as you would be with a garden. And celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and trust that even in the quiet, dormant seasons, growth is happening beneath the surface. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might just need a little inspiration. And don't forget to subscribe to Sow Soulful, that's spelled Sow, S-O-W, so that we can continue to keep growing together. Until next time, keep planting, keep growing, and keep believing in the beauty of new beginnings.